Hi, everyone. I am Miss Catherine Dawn Masters. Today is August 2020, and I have been learning about the shooting of a young man. Um, I think, Jacobs. Sorry, I can't think of his name right now. Um, I want to I want to do this video to talk about what is going on in our police departments and how that officers are falling victim and how that victimization is ending up with creating these situations that we are seeing, these shootings of our loved ones. You know, they put such a great fear into the minds of these officers that if they do not or that we're just waiting to jump them. We're out to get them. You know, any opportunity that we get that we can take out an officer, we're going to do it. It's almost like um, feeding an animal gunpowder to make them so crazed and fearless, ferocious, and then you unleash them and they're just going to tear and kill up whatever they can get their hands on. So basically, they get them so ramped up in their minds that all of us in the community and out on the highway, you know, the first thing we want to do is that we're out to kill them, and we've been making movements to show the police that this is not true, and that's a smart direction to go to. And we need to show more of videos of citizens helping out officers, and that no, they do not need to be in fear of us. You know, there was with Jacobs, there were so many opportunities to have stopped him before he ever got to the car door. And so that tells me that these officers are being psyched up in their mind to a point where they are literally afraid. They are afraid. They are afraid that because of what has been going on, that it's going to be taken out on them. And so putting on their uniforms, I imagine that their hands are practically shaking as they're putting on the badges and they're loading up all these guns and all this weaponry and militarizing them. And it's all to psych them out and to just bring these problems up to the levels that they are. Smart move with that we need to start cutting the funding back on all these tanks and assault weapons and everything else and get it back down to where that it belongs. And now I'm going to give you a good example about that how right I am that these officers are being told things so that and they know what to tell them so that they're going to go out and these kind of things are going to happen. And pardon me, I am going to need to hydrate. I am been battling for my life for a while, and I'm on the I'm on my last journey because of fighting and helping out my community and helping out people all over has backfired. And Here's one of the ways that it's backfired. Helping children that were being horrifically taken advantage of. There are a lot of you who know that story, and you can go on my YouTube channel and you can find those uh, videos about it. Um, and it's just not with helping out those special need kids, it's also with revealing truths about medicine by helping people to get better and being in medicine and knowing that what isn't good for people. Tell them the real truth, and but more so that things that I have been able to use my knowledge that to figure out how to make a person who is laid up with arthritis that is bedridden, either they're in bed or a chair, that's their life, doesn't matter the age. I figured out how to use an over-the-counter product, one counter. You use it for 3 days the way that I direct of it, and suddenly that loved one is on their feet and doing whatever they think that they're big enough to do. And I've had people that have been scheduled for a double knee replacement. A 27-year-old was scheduled for that surgery, followed my directions, and for weeks they canceled the surgery because it was scheduled in 6 weeks. And I've had backlash over that. And that's all the backlashes I have. It's because I have done good work, that I've helped people. And on the case of these kids that I found a hidden bank account and identical checkbooks and the level of embezzlement, they wanted to get rid of me. And and so I have had officers who were told the right things so that they would hit me with false charges. And supposedly that I was to receive a ticket in the mail, and then I was supposedly sent a letter about a court date, and then I was supposedly notified about um, a warrant for my arrest because I missed the court date that I was supposedly all told about. And so when the arresting officer, I've got torn up shoulders. My body has taken a pretty significant pounding. And I've had an incredible amount of harassment. And I have known that if these officers knew the truth, that I would bet the greater majority of them would not ever have done, they would not have fallen for what they were told, sent out to do like a bunch of thugs. There are some that on the police department that I knew, and one day they were telling me about that their rain gear that they had was a $2 poncho. That was it. And I have done lots and lots of fundraising over the years since the 80s and had friends, good friends on the police force in different states that I've lived in and even over the internet. And actually, I thought that they were being very more better cared for. Actually, it made me feel ashamed that a $2 poncho. Are you kidding me? And I had friends that I told about this, and they felt the same way that I did. So I told them, I said, "All right, tell me what you want, and I'll tell you this. I'll make a promise. In 3 weeks, you will have you will have this your rain gear." And so they were telling me about all the bells and whistles on it. These OSHA certified long rain gear coats and everything else, so that it doesn't matter how bad it's storming or freezing, that that they had this OSHA certified all weather gear that would protect them from the elements. And the way that I did it is that I knew that if the people found out, if the on the police force they found out that I am a good person, so I set up with a couple agencies here in Elk City to do a fundraiser asking for people that when they pay their bill, if they would not mind donating their change or whatever, so that we can get these all weather or certified rain gear. And I even found a official police supply store online that dropped down the rain gears from $120 to $50 and would give free shipping and handling. And once I had everything set up, I went to the newspaper, told them that I'm about to kick this fundraiser off, and then I called the chief of police and told them that what I had got set up and what I am about to do. And it was within a few minutes that I was told that they were taking care of that, and that it had to be OSHA certified and had to have all this, on and on. And in 2 weeks, they got their OSHA all weather rain gear, all weather gear, long coats, with all the reflecting tape and, all of it. I knew they would do that. I knew that they would get on that as fast as they could to stop me from doing this fundraiser, because if they found out that they had been getting lied to about me, that they and that I am doing this for them. You're no longer wearing, basically a go get your garbage bag, cut a hole out of it, for your head and your arms, and there's your all weather gear, that I am taking them from that to what they should have. That they would absolutely jump on the bandwagon and immediately get this, so they do not know that they have been lied to about me, that they were taken in as fools, that they were being that little thought of, that they could not see. Things weren't adding up, that I was saving many businesses here in town, and I fought for this hospital from a takeover. They did not want them knowing that I am that person. I'm not the person that they have made me out to be, to get these people, these officers, these people to do the things that were done to me. And so that's how I got them their rain gear. Think about that for a bit. They were so lied to, and they were so terrified of these officers learning the truth about me, that look how fast they got on the ball and got that gear so they would not find out that I am not a bad person, that I care about Elk City, that I care about Elk Cityans. I care about what happens here. I care. I want to see people doing good. I want to see them not suffering. I don't want to see innocent people being harmed. And we got to understand, we have got to reach to our leaders that the way that officers are having people, their communities being projected to them. Sure, there's bad people in the world, but that doesn't mean that everybody is bad. The majority of people, the majority of the stops aren't violent stops. But if when you've got supervisors with these agendas, because believe me, since Satanism became a legal religion, you can't keep it out of any business because it's a religion. Therefore, that's a prejudice if you keep it out of there. And so when you've got that type of people coming into community service works, yeah, you're going to have this kind of problem. That's a mental illness, actually. But there needs to be this bringing down of militarizing and scaring the daylights out of our law enforcement officers. And we need them to come forward and talk about that what they are being trained, led to believe. It is going to be the biggest, right now, the greatest, best tool to start stopping what is causing all these types of senseless behavior. This taken because of what one person does, and blowing that all out of proportion and making it out to, well, this is the way that all other people like this. This has got to stop, because it's even in our medicine. They you go into medicine and they tell you, well, because of what others have done, where even though that your diagnosis is legitimate, and that in medicine we know that you need this pain medicine and you need this treatment, but because what others have done, no, you're not getting it. This kind of mentality has got to stop. It's got to stop. It's got to stop with the corruption that is going on inside our institutions, all of them. Any building that has people working in it is an institution. And I've dealt with this for years. And I don't have a great amount of animosity towards the police department. My animosity is against those who knew the truth and lied. And that I want them to be held accountable. And they need to come forward and they need to tell the truth. They need to tell the public that what they have done to incite these problems so that they can use them to justify more insanity of getting more militarized equipment, tanks, and come into your home and pull you out of your home before there has been steps taken that the way things used to be done. I would like us to go back to the 50s and the 60s and 70s, that you didn't have the mentality that because I'm the law and I'm going to beat you down any opportunity and chance I get, because that's the mentality that they are putting into our officers, into our departments. We need them to come forward. We need them to tell the public, because I promise you, just because they're a police officer, it doesn't mean that they're not being victimized, because I know many are, who have sat there and stood up for what is right, and they paid a price too. They paid it too. And it doesn't the problem is in the singularity of it. You need more, many more to come forward to talk about that, what the training, what they're being told, and how they are to do things, and the real reason why it's being done. And I'm not wanting this to be too long. I have I want to say this part. One second, please. I am a woman, and I am not worthy of proper medical care. June of 2019, I had I had a fall. I'm just going to put it that way. And my right arm, I have broken bones in the forearm. The wrist is messed up bad, and the elbow is dislocated. That is as far. You see, I can't straighten it out. That's as far as I can go. That's it. And I don't know if you can see this too well, and this is very painful, but I am. this swelling here. My hand is still swollen. Um, I am not worthy of getting proper medical care. And because that I have been so lied about, and because that even with Elk City Hospital, that in 2011, at 2 years after we had this brand new hospital, opened its door in 2009, suddenly the CEO, Don Eichmann, is telling me that they are losing every single lawsuit against the hospital. And here the people pulled their money together to build this brand new medical center, state of the art medical equipment, absolutely phenomenal. What a wonderful gift to give to the community. It ensures employment for every generation to come. They can be the doctors, be the therapists, be the administration. This is their gift to this town, and I don't want to see Oak City lose this medical center. I don't want to see these kids lose what the adults work so hard and sacrifice to give them. So absolutely, I'll get on board with it. And because I ended up getting attacked, I went in and I knew my foot was broken, and the doctors that were, most of them are out of town, that come in there and they run that emergency room and radiology and stuff. And I was told that, well, I didn't get medical care. I had to go to my podiatrist, and he took X-rays, and I had 4 broken bones in that left foot, and the radiology report, the same type of X-rays, the radiology report stated that everything was perfectly normal, and so I was able to reveal the ER doctor, the radiologist, that where this was coming from, why that this hospital was losing every lawsuit, and it was there at the brink of this other people losing their hospital. And unfortunately, that it was spread around that I was the one trying to do harm, because Don Eichmann suddenly transferred out of Elk City, and once again I'm under gunfire. I'm having false arrests. I'm having animals tortured and killed, and it goes on and on and on and on. And they are not wanting this known, and they have done a very good job of getting to my doctors. So just as I get to the police, so can they anybody else. And you need to understand that there is this agenda, and because there is this agenda to bring down on people, on society, to give them a false justification, to have retaliation, to have mistreatment, to take away, to destroy. We need those who are in these institutions to come out, come forward, and acknowledge what they are being told, what is being directed at them. And yes, absolutely, we already know what the agenda is. We already know what it is. And so you're not going to be saying anything new to us. But what you are going to be doing is that you're joining for what is right, and that is that we, especially here in America, we stand for non prejudice mentalities. It does not matter gender, skin color, or whatever. It isn't to matter. You get treated you get treated respectfully. You need medicine, you need medical care. You have a right to good medical care. It doesn't matter what other people have done. This medical Jesus Christing, where here you got legitimate diagnosis that absolutely in a lot of pain. I got a 2.5 foot long tumor, and I can't get nothing. I can't get that image. I can't get that taken care of. Now I've got over 20 tumors. Very easy to tell that I've got these tumors, and they have entered in to my organs. And I am on now. I've battled it for years. I sat there and could see it on the radiology films. Because I was in radiology. My doctorate was in radiology, and I could point it out on the films. And yeah, here's a problem. Oh no, they're now it's a cover up. Because I want to tell you that there is a very big problem with radiologists not giving the information, the diagnoses that are on the films, and needs to be restored back to where doctors sit with their medical clients, and they go over the films and the results together, because there are good doctors that are losing their license and clinics are being shut down because there is this agenda that is going on where that these people like that are not all radiologists, but there is a good amount, and it don't need to be a whole lot. Just needs to be just enough to where that you have these radiologists who are lying, that are on this agenda, that are hurting people, getting people killed, getting lawsuits against hospital and clinics, and all of a sudden you've got this one major clinic that's going in, or corporation, medical corporation, it's going in and scooping up all the medical facilities, hospitals. That's what's going on. And so, and this is also the reason why so many of us are dying. And those of us who know the truth, and these are real truths. There are people that are in these institutions that are putting such fear in these people that they are scared for their lives when they put on that badge. And here the society is afraid right now. We are very afraid. And we need leaders to acknowledge our fear. And more than anything, I tell you, I have sat here with trying to work with our leaders in of Oklahoma. I have assisted in getting Oklahomans back their pain medicine, and lo and behold, that when a certain sect found out that it was my information, it was me working with that level, that particular powerful level of Oklahoma state government, all of a sudden I can't access the people that I worked with in bringing about the laws that got Oklahomans back their pain medicine and help protect the doctors who wrote it. And also, all of a sudden, even on my computer, that that law that I had saved, it's gone. It's gone. And why is it gone? Is because they do not want the people, especially here in Oklahoma, to find out what has been done to me and the truth, what the truth is about me. Because when they find out, what these truths are, then it is automatically revealed who and what offices is responsible for making me a target and having so many attempts made on my life and ensuring that I cannot get the medical care that I need because since their attempts on my life have not been successful, well, if they just keep me from not ever getting proper medical care, that I will absolutely die from these medical problems because it is they who inflicted it. And when you've got doctors who are inflicting serious health problems, of course, it's far worse than that which is so called naturally or environmentally. You'll get rid of people a lot quicker. And I am on that. That's the side that I'm on. And maybe a few more months is what I have. And we're not so sure even about that. And so it goes. If I was not a woman, and I am so sick and tired of hearing that, you have no idea how sick and tired I am hearing if I had a man speaking on my behalf, if I was not a woman, I would not be dying. And I would certainly not be in the severity of the pain that I am in every single day and every night. And even though that I am in that type of pain, that through this internet, I am still helping people to ease their suffering. And many lives have I saved, but you're not allowed to know that because these I've tried to get this information up and it gets taken off my computer. And so they have won. I don't have the strength in me anymore to battle onward. And so this is all that I can do is tell you guys this. You demand to know, to have it brought out how they are training officers, what they are telling officers, because I know a lot of them just are like a lot of us in medicine, like me, that I went into it because I wanted to help my community, wherever that community is that I go to. I wanted to help people. I wanted to be able to protect people from being hurt and harmed. I want to protect them from those who sit there and think that they can do whatever they want to somebody else and think that they can harm or destroy their life. I want to be there to do everything I can to stop that. And so I know that that for the most part, that's what why they go into law enforcement, become attorneys because they want to make a difference. And now we need to ask them, we need your help to make the difference, to change. Tell us what they are doing, what they are telling you, how they are training you, what is the mentality that they are putting you into. These things have got to change, and stop sitting there forcing them to a seat belt. You're going to sit there and give them a ticket for not wearing a seat belt. Let me tell you, in medicine, when we have an accident person come in, we ask if they are wearing a seat belt or not. And it's not because that's the law. It's because that the seat belts that are used are outdated, and many a times a person would not have injuries if they were not wearing that seat belt. There are a lot of intestines and spleens and livers and stuff that get ruptured because of them. And it is more known that at low impact, like 35 mile an hour impact accidents, that's when seatbelts do the best good. At higher levels, you'll hear more times that if they were thrown away from the vehicle, that they would have survived it. Many walked away from it. And police cars, I have been promoting, they should be in 4-point restraint because so many of them have died because that they have had an outdated seat belt. If these officers had the equipment that they needed, they would be protected and cared about. And so find out what your local police department is needing, because I promise you, you're probably going to be shocked to find out that they are not as being cared about as you might think they have been. So I'm going to stop right here. I wish you all the best. I've got videos on my YouTube channel that will tell you over counter products that absolutely will help ease suffering, and that can help give you back a lot of your health. That also, disclaimer, always seek medical professionals for your medical advice needs. So, everyone, take care. I wish you all the best. Love and care about each other. Get to the core of the problem. Find out. Find out what's really going on. Encourage these officers to come forward and let them know that they will have our the people's support and protection for them to come forward and talk about the truth. God bless you all. Much love, and I wish you all very well.